What is it like to be a successful YouTuber with 100,000 followers? Well, within the last 3 months, I gained over 100,000 followers on my YouTube channel. How did I get this many followers so quickly, might you ask? Was it money? Am I a famous person? Is it because I look like J-Hope from BTS? Or did I make some shady deal? Honestly, I don't even know. I guess I kind of just got lucky. So in this video, I pretty much just wanted to go through the expectations versus reality of what it's like to have 100,000 followers, how much money do I make through social media, and a nice juicy Q&A where I'll be answering some of the questions that you guys asked me in my community forum post. So this is very late, like 50,000 subscribers late. I wanted to do this sooner, but on top of uploading a short every single day, working 9 to 5, training, dieting, I feel like I didn't exactly have much time to do anything else throughout my day at all. But first of all, I wanted to say thank you guys so much for all the love and support so far. Thank you for following this content creation journey. And for those who are new here, then welcome to the most shortest, cute, buff Asian boy you will ever meet, with the humor of a 12-year-old virgin. But anyways, here we are at 100,000 followers. What does it feel like? Honestly, it feels completely normal. I feel like seeing content creation from an outside perspective, I thought that anyone with 100,000 followers, whether it be TikTok, Instagram, or YouTube, was super successful, super rich, and was pretty much well off. But it's safe to say I'm definitely not well off. I'm still living with my parents. I'm sharing a room with my girlfriend. And I'm definitely not balling with money. But it's fine though. I feel like at this point in time, becoming a full-time content creator is very possible. I think for me, in my situation, I'm very, very close, which is why I was able to stop working my 9 to 5. And I'm super grateful for my parents because I'm able to live with them with little to no expenses, which is why I was able to take this risk. Honestly, 100,000 followers is actually really not that bad if I'm not able to do it full-time. I actually get recognized quite a lot, which, I'm not gonna lie, feels pretty f***ing good. Except my work colleagues did find out about my videos and, well, But I guess throughout this content creation journey, I've always kind of wanted to give people that realistic perspective of what it's like, because I feel like content creation isn't actually that easy and it's not what people expect. And for some reason, I feel like how successful a content creator can be, depending on where their content creation journey is quite vague. But when you're a content creator, you're basically working and thinking 24/7. I honestly thought that I would enjoy that 9 to 5 life, that I could come home and play games and relax and do pretty much whatever I wanted. But after experiencing all this, I guess, and finding out how rewarding it can be, how much of an impact I can make, and of course realizing how much f***ing money I can make, I'll be honest, I wouldn't mind being dirt rich. So in terms of how much I'm earning, I am earning over $100,000 per year, is what I would have said if I didn't quit my job. I think being a content creator, you will have to earn your income from multiple sources. For me personally, I am earning my income at the moment from YouTube, sponsorships, and my Train With Me programs. And all those three combined, I'd say I'm earning roughly about $70,000 per year. The thing is, if you were to try to focus on one of those things and try to make a living out of those, you definitely can't, because they're not making enough money, at least for now. But the potential to make more money is there. Obviously, as you get more subscribers and followers and views on your videos for YouTube, your YouTube AdSense revenue will go up. As for sponsorships, as you build a relationship with your sponsor or as you find new ones, you will earn more money, especially depending on how popular you are as well. And in terms of programs and coaching, if you are a fitness content creator, you can make a living out of those two things alone. But it does take a lot to set up in the back end, and you do have to manage people, clients, and everything like that as well, on top of keeping up with your content creation. And then I guess there is the one-off paid sponsorship advertisement videos, which would pay quite a lot of money to plug them into your videos. There's apparel and merch, and then pretty much all the options are endless. The only thing that limits you is your creativity to provide that service to people. But if you want to make money off social media alone, I think YouTube is your best bet. I've made $0 from Instagram and TikTok. Actually, no, that's a lie. I made $5 from TikTok. But I think these platforms, Instagram and TikTok, are really where you market yourself. A lot of these companies that reach out will probably see those platforms first before they even notice you on YouTube. And those are pretty much where I got all of my sponsorships and opportunities from as well. So even though you're not making money from those platforms directly, it's still not something that you should neglect, and definitely make use of as many social platforms as you can, because it just doubles, triples your reach. I don't know where I heard this from, but apparently once you hit 100,000 subscribers on YouTube, it's enough to make a living out of content creation alone. I think the answer, now that I'm here, I guess, is a maybe. I don't know. I feel like for me, if you're making shorts and that's the only thing you make, definitely not. I average around like $20 per short, and posting a short pretty much every single day, I've only made about $1,000 a month, which isn't that much at all. But if you're uploading long form content, then I guess depending on the amount of views you get and how often you upload, potentially you could make a living. For me, on that video that I uploaded, which got 200,000 views, that is sitting on around $700 of ad revenue at the moment. So that's pretty damn good. But shorts are great. I feel like every content creator who wants to get out there should utilize shorts. It's a great way to express your creativity because you only need 1 minute to do so, and the ability to reach out to a bigger audience is there. And if I didn't do shorts, then I wouldn't even be here where I am today, being able to do a Q&A for people who care. Let's, I guess, strip things back. This took fucking ages, oh my god. I kind of pushed this video back quite a lot, for good reason, because this was a lot of effort to do and I couldn't really think of anything entertaining. But now that I think about it, because I've just been making shorts, you guys don't really know that much about me. So I guess let's strip it all back and start from the beginning. Who is Lilem? I'm 25, background is Cambodian, both of my parents are Cambodian. My birthday is the 22nd of November 1997, for anyone who's interested. Born and raised here in Canberra, Australia. So I'm not actually Korean. I feel like a lot of people think I'm Korean. Maybe it's because of the haircut, but my girlfriend is Korean, which is why there's a lot of inspiration for, I should probably eat some of this. So I guess I kind of wanted to do a, I don't know where I was going with this portion of the video, a mukbang Q&A. Who am I as a person? I'm actually quite reserved and introverted. I'm not very outgoing at all. I think majority of the time I spend my time at the gym or at home, either playing games or watching anime. At least I used to until I started making content. And now a lot of my life just revolves around pretty much doing this to try put myself in a position where I can kind of relax and make enough money while doing the things that I enjoy. I should probably eat some of this first. I didn't even set this mukbang up properly. I'm so far away from the table. So a lot of people are wondering what I did in my 9 to 5. I was a digital content officer in the Australian Public Service, working in a government department. And what I did was basically, I guess, manage and created social media content, digital content, edited videos, depending on what they wanted me to make. Because my girlfriend was moving in and we wanted to move out, that's when I started working that 9 to 5 and realized, well, this kind of sucks. But in saying that, I did have a few questions from you guys that I will actually answer. Thank you guys so much, by the way, for all the comments. There was like 400 comments and I've gone through all of them and it was a lot. And so I've pulled out a few just to not make this video too long. Writing off the 9 to 5 question, Jack asked, has the experience of working in a full-time 9 to 5 given you more drive to pursue this? It has, because I feel like working a 9 to 5, it's quite boring. Like, it's very monotonous. You're doing basically the same thing every day. Honestly, I didn't actually mind my 9 to 5 job, but experiencing how rewarding making my own content can be, how much I can inspire people, and how much I can make for myself, I felt like it was a waste working 8 hours a day in an office and not progressing on something that I enjoy doing. And I think the worst thing was fucking commuting. But yeah, I felt like I really had to get myself out of this situation because, one, it doesn't really fit my lifestyle, like training, nutrition, dieting, making food. And then finally finding something that I really wanted to invest my time in. It kind of really drove me to work to get myself out of the position of this 9 to 5 so that I can basically do something that I enjoy doing. Oh shit. But I also need to finish this video. And then Declan asked, did I go to university? I did go to university and I graduated with a double degree of information technology and media arts and production. I originally wanted to become a games programmer. I loved games. I still love games. I just can't play it because I don't have time and it's a waste of time at the moment. But I think university for me, it felt like it kind of just told me what existed out there in terms of things you can do for work. And it also made me realize that I fucking hate programming. Like, it does my head in. And I find more enjoyment in the creative side of things like my media degree. But everything that I've learned, everything that I've done is pretty much self-taught. University didn't really teach me anything. I didn't really get much out of university, but I did it from parents, got a double degree out of it. Will I ever use it again? Probably not. Personal question from James Smith. He asks, do you consider yourself smart? Was there any point in time where you were objectively smart, good grades, high IQ, like characteristics? For me in school, I never really struggled at school. I obviously studied when I needed to study, but I left at last minute. I played a lot of games, but my grades were always around like 70 to 80%. So I was actually very decent academically. But yeah, everything that I've done, I felt like I have kind of like this high expectation and high standard of myself, especially for when it comes to something that I am really passionate about. So I guess when it comes to making videos, in terms of my training programs, I didn't want to do like a PDF. I wanted to make and produce something as valuable as possible as I can make for other people. And I think that's just the type of person I am. I think like I'm not going to settle for mediocre, and I'm always striving to be better than before. Monarch of Melanin asks, which aspect of bodybuilding has affected your social life the most, and how do I get cake like yours? Cake is just allocating volume and training hard in terms of doing like hip thrusts and squats. But in terms of bodybuilding, because I am quite introverted anyways, it never really affected my life at all. I only started drinking when I was 23, so I kind of skipped that entire partying phase that everyone had. I mainly spent my time training, staying home playing games, watching anime, hanging out with friends whenever I need to hang out with them. But now, I guess in this position where I am now, I know how to be able to fit my lifestyle around my friends. But in my off season and I'm tracking calories, I'm pretty flexible with what I eat. Like if you understand the concept of banking your calories, if you understand estimating your foods, there's no reason why you should restrict yourself so much, especially if you're not competing or if there's no deadline to whatever you're trying to do. Hit your protein so you can optimally build muscle, but that's really bad, all you need to do. But I guess the only time that it has affected me a lot more is now when I'm in prep, but that happens like every 2-3 years, so it doesn't really happen that often. And I'm surrounded by a lot of supportive friends and family, so they understand that I'm in prep, so they won't push me to go eat or anything like that. And just because I don't see them for a prolonged period of time doesn't mean they're not going to be your friends anymore. Do you miss doing SBDs? Do you think you missed out by not going through with the powerlifting meet before you planned for? That was a jumble of, I don't know how to read. I honestly don't really miss doing SBDs. I did try to put it back in for one block and I removed it straight away because I still spent like an hour trying to do deadlifts. I think in my off season though, maybe I'll slowly reintroduce it back in because I do want to try hit a 300 kilogram deadlift, and I guess sometimes I do miss squatting a little bit, and bench is fun, but I don't think I missed out on much. I feel like because it would have interrupted my hypertrophy training, I probably wouldn't have as much muscle as I would now. I mean, I guess I'd be definitely a lot stronger, but strength doesn't necessarily mean muscle. And my camera is running out of battery slowly. Why did I become an influencer? I used to love watching YouTubers back in the day, like Ryan Higa, Kev Jumba, Smosh, and I used to kind of mimic them back in the day as well. And I'll be honest, like I kind of love being the center of attention. It kind of feels good despite being super introverted. But yeah, I mean, I feel like as lazy as I am and as comfortable as I like being, I probably wouldn't be able to sit in an office for the rest of my life. And I felt like I had a lot of creativity that I wanted to express. And now that I've got this platform, there's a lot of things that I want to do and I want to produce, and it's just a matter of time and eventually getting there. And then I really need to take a shit. Oh, and my camera's about to die. All right, let's speed through these. Is there any influences that inspired you? Honestly, I don't even remember. Chris Bumstead is always an inspiration, but I never really followed fitness influencers that closely. I always found that eventually their content got pretty boring, I'll be honest. Like, there's only so many workouts that I can watch. So I never really watched a lot of influencers. I guess the main YouTube videos that I watch is mainly like Doobie-Doo-Bop and Worth It and all those people who are more outside of that fitness community, but I watch them because I like their video styles, which is probably why you can see like a lot of my video styles, kind of try to replicate them as well. Korean English Man is also another good one and that I watch all the time. So yeah. Mr. Goat asks, how do I stick to my low calories like when I was on 1400 calories? For me, it's just experience. Like as you track calories for a lot longer, you'll learn to build more discipline and you'll learn how to manage your hunger a lot better as well. So if I were to start tracking calories for the first time, I don't think I could be on 1400 calories because 1400 calories is actually very, very low. And I probably wouldn't recommend many people at all to do it unless they're getting expert guidance. But it's just honestly experience and learning how to manage that hunger. Throughout my 10 years of training, have I ever felt like giving up, and how did I overcome that feeling? Did I ever want to take an extended break? I haven't. I think for me, I've gotten to the position where I look good And if I stop now, I feel absolutely terrible about myself because I am self-conscious still about pretty much a lot of things. So if I stopped, then it's a cycle of, well, I feel like shit and I need to keep training, and then obviously I'll start training again. But I think to keep motivated, to keep yourself training long term, you just have to set yourself goals. It doesn't have to be very, very big goals. It can just be like minor ones, like hit a new PB, lose this amount of weight, gain this amount of weight, something like that. Because for me, like obviously that's why I do bodybuilding competitions, because it always helps me train with intent. I'm always training and working towards something. So in my off season, I'm always training to build muscle, to get stronger. And then when I do finally cut, it's obviously I'm working towards a competition. And then in my off season, next time, maybe I might do a powerlifting competition. So as long as I'm finding myself little goals to work towards, that's how I can find that motivation to keep training long term, as well as body dysmorphia, because that's what's pushing me to train as well. What kind of influence does alcohol have on maintaining and building muscle mass? Honestly, I think obviously if you're an alcoholic, it probably would affect it quite a lot. But alcohol is calories. I think as long as you moderate yourself. I started drinking when I was 23, so obviously I am quite lucky to not expose myself to alcohol that early on. But I still drink. Maybe like every 2-3 months. Sometimes more. But as long as I'm tracking calories, as long as I'm on track, then that one day that you're going to drink and you're going to let loose isn't going to matter at all, as long as you get back on track pretty much straight away. And in terms of my future plans, this is going to be the last question. Filming my stuff by myself, editing my stuff by myself, it's a lot of work. And there's a lot of big projects that I want to do and a lot of big ideas that I want to express and try to teach people that tracking calories doesn't have to be so restrictive, and you don't have to be that hardcore bodybuilder who lives and breathes training. You don't have to eat bland food. You can eat whatever you want as long as you're tracking your calories or you're balancing your nutrition. I want to use this platform to express that. And there's bigger video projects where I want to like collaborate with restaurants. I want to collaborate with a lot of other creators. But doing this all by myself is very hard. So I want to get into a position where I can hire a small team to help me express my creativity and it help deliver my message. And then also I want to create brands and businesses that pretty much deliver what I want. Like in terms of clothes, like clothes for short people, a better food scale, because there's no good food scale out there that looks good. Just a lot of random things that I want to do. It just a matter of time when it's going to happen, and I just need that money, which slowly getting there. The other things, my camera died. I'm gonna wrap this up. Future plans: bodybuilding clothing company, make my own food scale, more content, more long form content, small team to make me that content, Twitch stream when I finally move out, play games, play more games, and relax. But seriously, thanks for watching, and yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. Now that I've finally gotten this video out of the way, I can finally make proper long form content that is so much easier to make. Anyways, I'm super excited. Goodbye. I really need to take a shit.